Hello, hello, we're live. Thanks everyone for being here today on my page. Today I'm going to be interviewing my friend here and my business partner, Georgia. I actually just met her a couple days ago. As I told you guys, our business community is pretty large and we have over 70,000 people. And I've been here 2.5 years doing this. And I was just telling Georgia that I've always seen her name in our community, and it's a pleasure to finally meet her. I reached out to her a few weeks ago. I started chatting with her, and we have a lot in common. So it's really nice to finally talk to her. Georgia, pleasure to for thanks for being here. Pleasure to have you, and we'll get started here.
Awesome.
And our first question. First of all, you have anything to say? Did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Georgia Williams. I'm a mother of five beautiful children. I'm an online business owner. We spend our days hanging with our family. My children are in online schooling right now. I'm very grateful for everything in my life. I'm married and we live in Kamloops, BC. It's beautiful here. We absolutely love it. This is our little paradise here in this beautiful little city. We have great friends. I have a great community here in this online business, especially meeting Ahmed and all kinds of amazing people. Um, and yeah, I started this business a little under 2 years ago, and it has literally changed my life in so many ways, not just financially, but mindset wise. And we're able to do so many things because of this, and I'm very grateful, especially during this pandemic and everything that's been going on in the world. I still have my business generating revenue, and it's always running. It's always running 24/7. So I'm grateful for that. But I did build it up, and I put my time and effort. But it's a lot more quicker than the offline world because I had an offline business before. So
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And you said you're married, so do you and your husband run the business, or mostly just yourself?
Mostly just me. He's kind of in the background at times. When I do coaching calls, sometimes he hops on with the coaching call. Like if I'm helping somebody to get going and get started in the business, and they want to start this business. Sometimes he advises. Sometimes he gives a little tips. He knows the business. Like he sees me
Mhm.
doing it all the time. He knows what I do. He pretty much knows how to run it. But I do all the work. I'm not. He do all the work if I'm good at it, right? Um,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really take that much time, to be honest with you. So he runs a food cart here in town. So he loves doing that. He gets out of our hair and he does his little thing. And he's the type of person that likes to have his own little time. So even though he's resigned from his job because we have security in this business, he still wants to run his food cart because he was running his food cart and he had his job. So he
Yeah.
still does that, and but he works on his own time. Like right now, he chose to have a day off. Like he's sleeping right now. He's
Yeah.
sleeping, been up all night, hanging out, having fun. So he's sleeping. He chose to have a day off from running his food cart, and he does his own little hours. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Perfect team that you guys have there. Um, you mentioned you had a food cart. So before starting this online business, were you doing the food cart with him, or were you doing something else?
No, I back in Toronto, Ontario, about 7.5 years ago, I had my own brick and mortar business, and so I would run that business, and that was before I was actually married to George. I would run that business, and I had my two children at the time, my two big kids. They was only before I came here, they was only like I think like 8 and 5 at the time, maybe a little younger. But yeah, I used to run that business, and I was really really successful. I was extremely busy. I was at every trade show, Comic Con, bridal show. I was everywhere at once. I didn't have time for my children. I always had nannies, and I was paying nannies like almost $100 a day. We would sometimes get fancy takeout, and it was just I realized it's not the lifestyle I want. It was draining me. And even though I loved helping people because that's what I was doing, I was helping people in business. I was like spiritually coaching and counseling. And so that kind of took a toll on me in Toronto. I want to have more of a better lifestyle for my children. So even though I loved what I did, I brought my business here on a smaller scale. Didn't really work out as well as I thought it would because I was in big Toronto. Now I'm in the small little town, Kamloops, BC. I came with my 2 kids, and I ran my business. And then I came together with George, and I had to let go of my business. It really wasn't making that much, but to be honest with you, I still love doing it, and I let it go because I was expecting and just wasn't feeling well, and so I couldn't run the business. And we wound up moving to Langley for him to get a his real estate course, and he took a course there in Langley, and for some reason things just went sour, and we just spent a whole bunch of our savings in Langley. Things didn't work out. We wound up coming back to Kamloops, where he started to work, and that's where my journey began of being a wife that is dependent on her hubby, and I didn't like that. I was not used to that. I'm Mrs. Independent, and so yeah, that was that little side of what my background was beforehand before I started this business.
Okay. And then when you first came across this opportunity that of the online business, were you a bit hesitant or nervous, or did you jump right in having a business background?
Absolutely not. Like I'm the type of person that I go with my intuition. But to be honest with you, since the last couple years before I started this business, and like kind of before I married George and before I came to BC, like there's a whole story behind why I just drastically left my very successful business behind in Toronto, got left everything. I have a lot of family in Toronto. I left Toronto and I came to BC. Like a lot happened to me, to be honest with you. My mom passed away. My father was passing away from cancer. Um, there was so many things. I ended a marriage. There was a lot of things going on that just made me want to move and get away. And so that was like a turning point for me. And I left everything behind and I came here for a better life. So now fast forward 5, 6 years of moving here, business not working, coming together with George, dependent on George. We have a blended family. We have 3 children together, our 5-year-old and our twins. They're almost 4. So long story short, I was just so, fed up with the same routine, him working all the time, us not being able to make ends meet. And I was just trying to help him online. And I came across this because I was trying to help his sales because he was a sales associate in a car dealership. So I was just trying to help his sales online, trying to see if I could do something on his little account. Then I came across this, and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this webinar. And so when I watched a webinar, I was literally blown away. I was like, wow. So going back to the past of what I went through, it was kind of like a traumatization. Like my mom and dad passing, because my dad has passed away, and a marriage ending, and just everything that I went through, and just feeling alone and feeling lost. And then I began to, become more closer to God, and I turned Christian. And in that journey, I became very hesitant to making decisions. I became I had like a little bit of anxiety, to be honest with you. But then when I came across this ad and this business plan, I was like, wow, everything in my body felt this is right and this is God sent. So for somebody who was so hesitant what to eat, so hesitant what to decide, so hesitant where to move, where to go, what to do. And then I felt with all my heart, mind, and soul that this is the right business for me because it was so simple. Everything's built for you. Why reinvent the wheel, right? They say everything was already built for you. You don't have to create your own website, and you don't have to be attached to any systems, and you don't have to pay for those systems, and everything's set up for you once you sign up. So it was incredible, and I absolutely love the business plan, and I like the fact that once you get set up and going, like pretty much there's a system that's running in the background for you 24/7. So you do your little part, but if you're busy that day, your system's still working, your system is still running. So Yeah, I started right away, to be honest with you. I was like, wow. And I started my business I got up and running in about less than 2 weeks after I joined. So, and started generating revenue soon after, generating leads, buyers. So I was pretty happy with the results.